Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Shoe City Scoop. I'm your host, Brockton Mayor Bill Carpenter. This week I had the opportunity, along with Speaker of the House Robert DeLeo, to address the members of the Metro South Chamber of Commerce Legislative Luncheon at Bridgewater State University. It was an honor for me to speak to the group, and I invite you to join us for my remarks. They asked me to talk a little bit about my first 100 days in office. I didn't think I could do that in 10 minutes, and I didn't think I could do it without profanity. So I'm going to give a quick a touch on a few of the really important points that I think that members of the business community would be interested in. And it's great to see Dr. Wall and Dr. Molifaria here. Both Massasoit and Bridgewater State have just been great partners supporting the people in the city of Brockton. We thank you for everything you do for us. It's funny, as I look at economic development and travel to different meetings, they talk about what the pieces of the puzzle are for a city like Brockton looking to revitalize its economy in the 21st century. And one of the first things they always talk about is education. And I just look at what a great spot Brockton is in, having 3 colleges and universities within 7 miles of the city. And it's a great advantage to us and something we hope to be able to capitalize on. As I've assumed the role of mayor in Brockton, I absolutely have placed a large focus on economic development, revitalizing the downtown, and revitalizing the economy in the city. And I want to thank the Chamber President, Chris Cooney, who has been a great partner to me, and I really value my relationship with the members of the Metro South Chamber of Commerce. And I guess I have the advantage of having my office right across the street from Chris's, so if there's an item that either of us would like to discuss with the other, it's a quick run across the street. And Chris, I appreciate your support and the relationship with the Chamber. In terms of economic development, what can I do as the mayor? Well, I think what I'm really trying to do in the city of Brockton is to create an environment of attraction for business owners and investors to want to invest their money in the city of Brockton. And if I can create that environment of attraction, working with the local, with the Brockton 21st Century Corporation and the Chamber and the City Council and all of the other players, as investors and developers change their perception of the city of Brockton, the growth and the jobs will follow along. I'm trying to form strategic partnerships, and the Brockton Redevelopment Authority we're working very closely with. We've already launched programs such as refunding the facade improvement program. I've adopted the Main Streets program that was so successful in the city of Boston under Mayor Menino, and with the help of the BRA and B21, in the next week or two, we will be hiring our very first Main Street manager in the city of Brockton, and that person will be charged with revitalizing our urban business districts, Campello, Montello, and downtown, and will bring a lot to the table. And we're also working with the BRA and with SEED on developing a microloan program to help small businesses in the city of Brockton, because we know that entrepreneurs and small businesses, particularly minority-owned businesses, immigrant-owned businesses, and female-owned businesses, are where the real opportunity for growth in Brockton's economy lies. And we need to help those folks with some capital at crucial times to help them implement their business plans. I'm excited about the future of Campanelli Stadium and the Brockton Rocks. We have a new owner for the Rocks. I hope you'll come out to a ball game this summer. Chris English has purchased the team and is making improvements in the stadium and improving the operations of the baseball team. And we hope you'll come out and join us for a ball game or two this summer in the City of Champions. Through my office, we're offering small businesses free websites in a partnership with Google right now, where Google is offering any Brockton small business a free website along with 1 year of free hosting, and we're in the process of introducing that to small businesses across the city, just as another tool that we can hopefully offer small business owners to help them thrive in the city of Brockton. I'm excited about the development that's going on in downtown Brockton. If you haven't been to downtown lately, you should come by and see what's going on. We recently opened the Station Lofts project. We've got Brophy and Phillips is putting the finishing touches on a commercial building, the redo of the Shive building that's already 80% leased before it's even completed. And of course, the Trinity project that's under construction right now. And those three projects alone represent $125 million being invested in downtown Brockton. In addition to that, with the help of the support of the governor and the speaker and the Commonwealth, we'll be breaking ground next month on a new City Hall Plaza that will link government buildings in the downtown, and we're in the process of acquiring the former Liberty Bank building to expand city services. So we'll have our school administration, the Liberty Bank building, our parking garage, and the City Hall all connected by green space in downtown Brockton, the new City Hall Plaza. And that'll break ground next month and be completed for next year. And we believe that's another piece of the puzzle to revitalizing the downtown. And I would be remiss if I didn't also mention W.B. Mason, who's been a fixture in Brockton forever, but they've recently committed to an expansion of their downtown presence. And they're investing about $7 million in downtown Brockton, expanding their operation and bringing additional employees to our city's downtown. And one topic that Chris reminds me about repeatedly that I have endorsed, and that's the City of Brockton working with the communities in Metro South to regionalize our water and sewer. And I realize how important sewer capacity is to the development of communities around Brockton. And we met as recently as just a couple of days ago with our water consultants talking about how we work with DEP and EPA to begin working with the surrounding communities to share our water and sewer resources. So we want to be part of a regional economy. I realize that this, you know, all the communities in Metro South, we don't live in silos. Our futures are all intertwined, and I want to be a good partner and a good neighbor with the communities that surround Brockton, because we need each other, and I'm ready to do my part. I've really put a focus in my first 100 days on embracing technology in city government, and really in two areas: improving the efficiency of the operation of city government, and with the help of UMass Boston in July, we'll begin implementing the CityStat model for collecting and utilizing data that over the course of the next couple of years will put me as the mayor and the city council in a position to begin making operational decisions and budget decisions based upon data and where the money is best spent, not just allocating money based upon how much you got last year. And I believe it'll make us much more efficient in our operations and allow us to hold the line on taxes, and if Mr. Cooney has his way, maybe even reduce the commercial property tax rate. But we're working very hard on those initiatives, and we want to work with the Chamber and the other economic development arms to increase Brockton's biotech designation from gold to platinum. You know, we have a unique opportunity in Brockton with the desal plant. Unlike most communities, we have excess water. We have a virtually unlimited source of water. I have several million gallons a day that we don't use now, and a plant that we're not even taking any water from that has the potential to produce another 10 million gallons a day. So I know that part of the long-term future of Brockton's economy is embracing the biotech industry and working to get that platinum designation. And not just the Chamber, but also the Old Colony Planning Council is a key partner in ours in making that a reality. Closely intertwined with economic development, and something that unfortunately I guess has taken a little too much of my time, is public safety. And you know, we've had a couple of headlines in the past week and a half that have not been positive, but I want to tell you that we are making a tremendous effort in the area of public safety. I've hired a guy named Bob Hayden to be the police chief, who's really brought tremendous energy and leadership to the Brockton Police Department, and has focused strategic partnerships with all of the county, state, federal law enforcement agencies. I know District Attorney Tim Cruz is here this afternoon, and Tim has been a strong partner of ours, and we just met with the District Attorney yesterday talking about steps that we are taking cooperatively to address the most recent violence. And I think an initiative that our chief has been really effective with already is within 2 weeks of coming in February, he, working with his detectives and the other agencies, created a list of the 50 worst criminals in the city of Brockton, because it's his belief that a very small percentage of the people commit a large percentage of the crime. And in just less than 60 days, 14 of those 50 individuals have been arrested in less than 60 days. And I know with the district attorney's help, we're going to hopefully put most of them away for a long time. And that will have a positive impact on the climate in terms of Brockton. And we've got our officers, our police officers, working very hard to implement real community policing, where every single police officer should be employing community policing and being a member of the community. And we need to reestablish some trust between the community and the police department. We're working very hard to do that. And we're going to emphasize technology also in terms of our police operations, in terms of statistics and predicting where crime will happen, and also in helping people to send information to the police department. We'll soon be releasing an anonymous text-to-tip line along with an iPhone Android app that will allow people on a smartphone or handheld device to anonymously send information to the police department, because we know that we can't do this alone. We need the community's help. And probably my biggest challenge as the mayor is changing the perception of the city of Brockton. You know, I need a city of Brockton where those of you who live in the outside towns don't roll up your windows and lock your doors when you see the entering Brockton sign. I've got to change that perception of the city, that it's a great place to live and it's a great place to do business. And it's a great place to raise a family. It has been for me, and I know it will be for others. And probably the most exciting project that I'm working on in that vein is something that I want to thank and acknowledge Dr. Wall and Dr. Molifaria for their support, and that is developing a satellite college campus for downtown Brockton. And not just any old satellite college campus, but with the help of the two universities along with UMass Boston, we're creating a cutting-edge design where all three levels of higher education in the Commonwealth, a community college, a university, and a college, will all combine resources under one roof to create one satellite downtown campus, interlocking their curriculum and targeting programs that will be in great demand to residents in the Metro South area. And not just what they can offer educationally, but this model of using a college campus downtown as a catalyst for economic development. And we've seen it work in Lowell and Worcester and Springfield, and it will work in Brockton also. And I just want to thank both of you very much for the commitments that you've made to bringing your schools to downtown Brockton and what that will mean to the economy and the revitalization of downtown Brockton. And while we've got the speaker here, we could use a little state money, Mr. Speaker. If, yes, yeah. I noticed in the budget that Lowell and Springfield seem to have some money in that state budget for a downtown college campus, and we could use your help. And honestly, the Brockton Legislative Delegation is a partner in this effort also, and I know Representative Cronin and Representative Brady are here, and along with Senator Kennedy and Representative Canavan, they have also been tremendous supporters of our effort to make this downtown college campus a reality. And it really will be a campus incorporating our newly revitalized library, our newly revitalized Performing Arts Center at the War Memorial Building, along with some satellite parking lots and downtown college buildings. We really can create something very special in downtown Brockton. And the other really exciting piece of the downtown is embracing our history, because Brockton has a great history, and we talk about rebranding the city of Brockton and creating a new image. We know that embracing our history also has to be a very important part of that. You know, Thomas Edison and work that he did in downtown Brockton, and downtown Brockton is a stop on the Underground Railroad, and so many advances that took place in Brockton. As much as I love Rocky Marciano, there's a lot more to the history of Brockton than just Rocky Marciano. And we're hoping to create, and we've already begun work on creating a historic district in downtown Brockton that, linked with the downtown college campus, will really create an entirely new downtown that people will want to visit and want to spend some time in. So, and I love the slogan that the Chamber developed with their consultants, something about when Metro South is home, everything is within reach. And I think that we're also going to adopt that slogan, and we will say that when Brockton is home, everything is within reach.
Welcome back to Shoe City Scoop. Recently, I had the opportunity to stop by the college fair at the Brockton Boys and Girls Club. It was great to see Brockton young people exploring their options for their future after graduation.
That's all I play upon and complain, so point about it, debate, and change about it when you make it when you want. Yo, checking the metric from my neck in the woods, where it's danger, where people don't look like they should. What's ghetto, and I don't come with the hood.
The biggest thing with the college fair, why I'm so excited about this event, is because today, a high school diploma is not a destination, it's a place where you start. What you need is you need a plan for after high school. So whether that's a 4-year school, a 2-year school, go in the service, go to a trade school, learn a vocation, whatever it is, but you need a plan for after high school. Hanging out with your friends, doing the same old stuff you've been doing for the last 4 years for another 3 years is not actually a plan. That's not having a plan. So you really got to be thinking about right now, and I'm really happy that you guys took the time to be here today and start exploring what your options are in college. And you know, pick what you're interested in, you know? I mean, find something that you really want to do, and whether that's at a 4-year school or that's at Massasoit or at someplace else. But, you know, right now is when you need to be figuring out a plan. And I think that I'm really proud of all of you. I love being the mayor. I'll take a couple questions afterwards if you want me to. See some of my friends from the Sixth Element here. So it's good to see these guys. Good to see these guys. It's great to be here at the Boys and Girls Club.
Will that be enough to change your mind, or is your love already lost? Oh, I make a kill. Oh, yeah.
You go off to a 2-year college, a 4-year college, you become very successful, and you keep on going. I need for you to come back. I want you to come back and live in the city and be successful here. And I'm going to help you make this city be a place that you really want to live in and that you want to stay in and that you want to come back to. So we're working on some different things, but if you have a concern about your safety, you know, reach out to us, someone else. Putting in a, pretty soon you'll be seeing an anonymous text-to-tip line that allow you to send information to the police anonymously. So if you're being threatened, if you don't want to put yourself in a bad spot, but you want to share information, you can. If you're concerned about the safety of someone else, there's going to be an iPhone app, and there's also going to be an ability to text a tip. And with the technology, it goes to Canada, and then it bounces back. There's no way to trace it. It's guaranteed anonymous. So if you do want to pass along a piece of information, you can do it. I know that doesn't seem like the popular thing to do, but, you know, people are dying on the streets of this city. They're dying of overdoses, they're being shot, and, you know, we need to get the guns and the drugs off the streets.
This week, Bridgewater State University's Institute for Policy Analysis and Regional Engagement co-hosted, along with me, a Citizenship Leadership Program workshop held at the War Memorial Building. This program is designed to help emerging local leaders develop the skills necessary to impact positively their communities. I had the opportunity to speak to the attendees at the conference.
They asked me to talk to you about a couple projects that I've been involved in, just to share some of my firsthand experience with you. And by the way, is this a beautiful building or what? Is this building unbelievable? I can't believe that we really hope to use this as much as we can. I went for a tour of this one night last week, and I got to tell you, we ought to run tours of the building. It's just spectacular, the history in the building and the different rooms and things that go on here. We're really looking forward to using this a lot. Anyhow, this building was not one of my projects. That was someone else's project. Can't take credit for that one. So I thought I'd tell you about a project that I was involved in that that had some success to it, and then I'll also share with you a little bit of the challenges of a project that I'm working on now that I am putting a lot of time and energy into, really with no guarantee as to what the results are going to be, but I think it's worth it. So a number of years ago, I decided that, I kind of evolved to this point, but I recognized that we had a need in the community to have an alternative high school for kids that are battling alcohol and drug addiction. And I came to this conclusion through, my own personal experiences in my own family, of being the father of a teenager who became addicted to drugs during his high school years, and the struggles he's been through and the struggles that we've been through as a family, dealing with that. And during the time he was in high school, he was in the 10th grade when he really got into trouble. And over the course of a couple years, we went through this cycle of helping him to get off of drugs, spending months to help him get clean, and then as a parent, I would bring him back to school just to watch him fail within a couple of weeks, to watch him relapse, and we'd be right back where we started after months and months of working with him, and him working too. And I went around that cycle 3 times over the course of 2 years. And the second time we did it, I still thought I was doing the right thing, and by the 3rd time we were doing it, again, after months in rehab and homeschooling and counseling and all the things that you do, but by the 3rd time I was doing it, we were doing it as a family, I kind of knew that this probably wasn't the way to do it, but I just didn't know what else to do. I just didn't know, as the parent of a teenager, what else do you do other than try to get your kid back to school. So through those experiences over those years, and my son's struggles and our struggles as a family, it occurred to me that there ought to be a safe and sober school for a young person who's trying to do the right thing, that's made bad decisions, has got an addiction that they're dealing with, but now is trying to make good decisions and get their life back, and need a safe and sober place to go to school where they can get some support for their addiction, but at the same time get a first quality education. Because what are the opportunities for long-term success or long-term sobriety if you don't have an education, a job skills, and no way to earn a living? So through that, it's kind of what got me involved in politics. I went to a school committee meeting, approached the school committee, approached the mayor and the superintendent of schools at the time, and got very frustrated that nothing was really being done. So I started doing my research on what types of schools there were, and I came to find out that there were already 3 of these types of schools in existence in Massachusetts. They're called recovery schools. And I see my friend Karen here, who was a very valuable member of the task force. So I started doing my homework, finding out what recovery schools were all about, and figuring out how we could get one for southeastern Massachusetts. And in the course of that, I ran for school committee, and because I felt like I could be a better advocate as a member of the school committee than I could as a parent that no one was paying any attention to. So I'll try to give you the fast version of the project, but essentially, I found out what recovery schools were. I found out how they operated in Massachusetts. I got elected to the school committee to help with it, and I started just reaching out to people that could help me, because I realized very quickly that this was a much bigger project than one person could do by themselves. And I found some amazing support from a lot of amazing people. And the former superintendent of schools, Dr. Malone, was a big supporter of the school, and he and I kind of took the lead on it together. And we started looking at how the school up in Beverly worked and how the school in Boston worked, and we reached out to North River Collaborative, we reached out to the district attorney and to the YMCA and to Massasoit. We put together a whole group of strategic partners, and we ended up forming a task force of about a dozen to 15 really highly qualified people that all kind of brought something to the table. So we formed this task force, we started working, and it was about 1.5 to 2 years of work. And ultimately, with the help of a lot of people, we were awarded a $2.5 million grant from the state to found this school for southeastern Massachusetts. And that school opened about 1.5 years ago, and it's open today, and it's still growing. It's called Independence Academy. And it's giving kids a second chance. So I tell you that story because where I was 5 years ago when I first started working on that school 5 or 6 years ago, I was in the exact same spot that most of the people here are. I was just a dad that thought there was a need for something in the community that didn't exist, and someone ought to do something about it. And I wanted to be one of the people that did something about it.
Thanks for watching this week's edition of Shoe City Scoop. You can find us on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Mayor Bill Carpenter, or watch us on BCA Channel 12 on Comcast in Brockton. Let's wrap up this week's show with a performance from a recent open mic night at the Brockton Boys and Girls Club.